Good morning, everyone. I'm Michele Carroll, and welcome to the News Diet. Today, I'm going to talk about Biden's address to the nation condemning Trump supporters. Let's be informed so we can get on with our day. If you're looking for a quicker, healthier alternative for staying informed, then you've definitely come to the right place. If you could just do me one favor and hit that subscribe button, it would mean so much, as it makes such a difference in helping this channel grow so I can continue to make better and more content about what's going on in the world. Last Thursday, President Biden gave a prime-time presidential address from Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This location was intentional, as it's where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and signed. Usually, an address to the nation is used to make a big presidential announcement or speak on a major pressing issue facing the nation. Here, President Biden's address was essentially to condemn the Donald Trump base as a threat to America. Some are calling the speech as one of the most divisive ever given by an American president, and others are saying that it was instead necessary and actually unifying. So I'm going to break down the parts being highlighted by both sides so you can decide for yourself or to just be informed about what people are talking about. So there's no denying that the focus of the 24-minute address was pointed at Donald Trump and his supporters, or MAGA Republicans is how he referred to them. President Biden made it clear that he considers this base as a threat to the country, and democracy specifically. In fact, the word democracy was mentioned about 31 times throughout the speech. He claimed Trump supporters were politically violent, who placed a dagger at the throat of democracy, and those who see carnage and darkness and despair. Here's some of the parts of the speech touching on this.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. These are hard things. But I'm an American president, not a president of red America or blue America, but of all America. And I believe it's my duty to level with you, to tell the truth, no matter how difficult, no matter how painful. And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election. And they're working right now, as I speak, in state after state, to give power to decide elections in America to partisans and cronies, empowering election deniers to undermine democracy itself. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders, and they fan the flames of political violence that are a threat to our personal rights, to the pursuit of justice, to the rule of law, to the very soul of this country. They look at the mob that stormed the United States Capitol on January 6th, brutally attacking law enforcement, not as insurrectionists who placed a dagger at the throat of our democracy, but they look at them as patriots. And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections.
Supporters of the message say that the call-out was necessary, considering the chaotic events that unfolded on January 6, 2021, when thousands of Trump supporters ambushed the Capitol in an attempt to stop the certification process that would declare Biden as the winner of the presidential election. This is likely what Biden is referring to when he says he considers democracy to be under assault. This, and also the ongoing controversies around election deniers or election fraud, depending on how you look at it. They say that without the agreement of a peaceful transfer of power around election times, then how can America move forward if losing sides are just going to call fraud when they lose? They also point to instances of Trump's often divisive language to claim that this wasn't that bad. Also, they're pointing to other parts of the speech that they say are, in fact, unifying.
MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. But together we can choose a different path. We can choose a better path forward to the future. A future of possibility, a future to build and dream and hope. And we're on that path moving ahead. I know this nation. I know you, the American people. I know your courage. I know your hearts, and I know our history. This is a nation that honors our Constitution. We do not reject it. This is a nation that believes in the rule of law. We do not repudiate it. This is a nation that respects free and fair elections. We honor the will of the people. We do not deny it. And this is a nation that rejects violence as a political tool. We do not encourage violence. We are still an America that believes in honesty and decency and respect for others. Patriotism, liberty, justice for all, hope, possibilities. We are still, at our core, a democracy. And yet, history tells us that blind loyalty to a single leader and a willingness to engage in political violence is fatal to democracy. For a long time, we've told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us. That's why tonight, I'm asking our nation to come together, unite behind the single purpose of defending our democracy regardless of your ideology.
So, critics of the address are condemning Biden's choice to not just call out Trump or Trump's inner circle, but to call out his entire base as a threat to the country. That's tens of millions of people and a huge portion of America. So they're saying it's divisive and instigating for the president to paint all Trump supporters with the same brush as violent and backwards. They're calling the speech hypocritical, considering Biden's call for unity amongst Americans. Also, some are calling the decision to use a presidential address for what's essentially a campaign speech as inappropriate and an abuse of the purpose behind a national address. A photo of the speech even went viral, showing the president raising his fists while in front of red lights, comparing the image to several movie depictions of dictators. With the midterm elections only a couple months away, politicians and advocates on all sides are starting to ramp up efforts to ignite their base, and this impromptu address is seen as an effort to do just that. Whether it was successful or not is going to be different for every voter. You've just been informed, so now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.